Chico. Got me frozen and still better leave. I'ma swap it for time and that's take it for me. More jittery bass in 2 days, I'm on 3, I'm gone. Alamino Patron, Cappuccino Tuton, Alameda song. Stack it up, stack it up.
Oh shit, what's up everybody?
Yes.
Welcome back to another exciting edition of the Pit live stream. It's just the boys today, no special guests, nothing fancy. We have a lot of cool market opinions to cover, and guys, we are not far away from the halving. It draws closer every day, so it's time to start talking serious strategies, portfolio construction, memes. So welcome back. With me, as always, is our treasured regulars. You know them, you love them. RT and Jedi. What's up, fellers?
Hi. Oh, hey, how's it going there? Hey, up here in the north, bud.
Yeah.
Today,
give her, bud.
Today is the last day of August, the last true day of summer. Mentally, it's a time of renewal. I've loved September since a long time ago. Not only because sports start to pick up again, you know, over here in North America, we get basketball, which I don't really watch, football, which I stopped playing, fantasy, but hockey. And it's the new school year. It's just like, it's this time to be fresh and new. I got a haircut today. I'm back at the gym after a week or two of kind of floppy vacation life. It's good, man. Take this opportunity to like refresh yourself, like reset whatever you need to reset in your life to get ready, because you don't want to be getting ready when the cat's out of the bag. You want to be getting ready now when it's pretty shitty quiet market. Let's be honest. Now look, shitcoins Onchain. If you're playing in that muck, I mean, not too far in the muck, but if you're playing shitcoins Onchain, you had a good summer. Nothing major, you know, nothing like 100x's, probably a few. I didn't hit any, but there's been some really nice, you know, sell have on doubles and let it runs. But you know, majors, everything sucks, but just be ready now. Get ready now. So I'm getting ready. What are you guys doing?
Dude, it's literally a new year for me.
Yeah.
I turned 34 yesterday, dude.
Happy birthday, dude.
Happy birthday.
Thanks, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm growing mold.
Welcome to the old age club, brother.
Yeah. It's good to be here with you fellas.
Growing mold.
Yeah, but I'm excited.
Cool.
How about that Bitcoin candle?
It's pretty wild. I caught a nice slice of it.
So we had this grayscale pump. We had this grayscale pump, and everyone got super excited about it. I think I was probably the only one that didn't get very excited
salty
about
dog
it.
in the pit, dude.
I was salty about it because I expected it to do exactly what it did. I came into Discord and you guys kind of like, I mean, but it looked really promising, right? And you were like expecting that this is it. But actually, it's just more of the same. Yeah, more of the bot.
Bearish retest at the end of the day that didn't even really make it to the underside tap.
No, you know what it did though? This totally random range that my cousin had drawn up, and I kind of was like, yo, why did you draw the range there? And he's like, I don't know, it kind of fit. I was like, okay, drawing fucking to fit ranges, but it was a perfect tag of that EQ.
It also tagged.
He chose this wick because it lined up perfectly over here. So I don't know, you know, I don't trade off. I don't draw ranges that way, but I had it up that day because he liked it and it actually touched. What did it touch on your screen?
On the 20, you remember I showed you that 2022 consolidation range on the way down?
Yeah.
It just reclaimed that, but it was a deviation. Came back down real quick.
Oh, this level here.
Yeah.
Yep. So that, you know, well, look, I owe Jedi a beer. He came in the pit like a salty old man and was just like, that's it, boys, pack it in. We're going to hell. This market sucks. And it was still going up, but it was like on the 5 minute, it was like, it did look gassed on the day.
Dude, Jedi is the goated trader. He doesn't even pay that much attention to technicals. And he's like,
I feel good. So this must be bullshit. I'm going to short this. So right up here, he said something to the effect of, go fuck yourself. We're all going to hell. And I closed my long. So thank you, sir. You know, it's funny. I didn't close my long. I kind of argued with you for a sec. I was like, why? It looks great. You know, good news. You know, big breakout on the 4 hour. And then I came back from the bathroom and there was like a red 5-minute candle. I was like, yeah, he's probably right.
I literally was like, I circled exactly where you circled, and I was like, this is not a top. And on the 1M, like I've seen many tops and bottoms. It didn't have the violence that I like to see. But it still literally was the top.
I think, you know what the right word for this is? It was insipid. It was like really promising, and then it just got insipid. It was like, I'm not really sure, and like, I'm actually just going to fucking go straight back down again. I'm not going to do it right away, but I'm going to go back down again. That was the vibe.
Yeah, there's no bid left. Shorts were squeezed. Buyers came in on news. I was a news buyer. I was on my way to a workout. I was sitting in my car. I was kind of seeing this breakout. I thought, is that insiders buying, or like, you know, are we just going to dump as soon as there's no news this morning? And then I saw the tweet. I got notified, and I was like, fuck it, 10 Bitcoin long, like blindly, like that thing. Like later today, I can sell it. But then once we got up there, I was trying to talk myself into not closing it. And then you said all that shit you said. And I was like, you know what? He's right. I got no plan other than to come home later today and sell this thing. So I won't fucking close it. But look, let's talk real talk. The probabilities, you know, analysts, people are talking about CNBC analysts and all this stuff. Like the news, the vibe is that this court case win, not an ETF approval, but a win, is upping the probability of the other ETFs getting approved. Now we're hearing things from somebody. I didn't read through it, but it was like, you know, analyst predicts that all of the ETFs will be approved sometime this fall. That's the new talk.
I would like to be once again the salty dog in this, and I'm going to ask a question that will be completely loaded. Okay, so just indulge me on this for a second. So let me get this straight. You've got this authority, which is called the SEC, that essentially is the authority that authorizes these kind of things. Now, they were the ones who were effectively suing Grayscale. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So they've got a fight to pick with Grayscale. They now get told, listen, you were naughty. You can't do this, and you now need to entertain this ETF application in the correct light and in the spirit of what your job is and the way that you need to do it, or something along those lines. Now, the question is, and I'll eventually get to the point, is that if the guys are opposed to this thing straight off the bat, why would they now all of a sudden approve any kind of ETF, let alone Grayscales? When we know that Gary... But when we know that Gary Gensler is very much towing the line of an administration that is very anti-crypto, to the extent that I know at least a dozen protocols that have moved or in the process of moving out of the US.
I will give you this response from Jake Chervinsky, who is the guy I defer to when it comes. You're a little loud, by the way. I don't know if that's coming out on the stream, but that you came in a little spicy on the mic there. So just a heads up.
I'm just very passionate about
it. No, speak loudly. I just want to make sure our sound levels are on. Be passionate. Look, I defer to Jake Chervinsky for his takes. He's in the weeds there in the legal stuff with crypto, and his, I went through this on stream on Tuesday, so I won't break it down in full. But his take was that they can now either go back and basically decline or say no to this ETF, the GBTC conversion. They can just pick a new reason, right?
Yeah.
The judges said the reason you used this time was bullshit, so you'll have to think on that. And they could just pick a new reason, like you said, and keep beating this horse. Or they could use this as an opportunity to exit stage left with saving a little face, basically saying, okay, I guess the legal system wants this. There's clearly demand. So like at some point, do they throw in the towel? Do they go down fighting? Do they get dragged out the door, kicking and screaming, the SEC that is? Or do they kind of gracefully bow out at this point? And he's saying that he actually is kind of leaning to that. He's saying they might take this opportunity. Vic, you're not muted. Take this opportunity to kind of gracefully bow out of this fight. I think that's too good to be true, but I'm bear market mentality.
From a legal perspective, like basically they had this legal strategy of giving a somewhat arbitrary reason for denying the ETF. There's now court precedent that they can't do that. And so the downside is, what if they just did that in haste? What if they were like, we'll just throw out a fucking reason, let's not search for one, and And now they're actually going to search for one and find one that's at least going to take another series of months to say is bullshit. And that could totally happen. They could totally go back and say, what's our legal strategy for denying these that's different from what the judge just said was bullshit? And they could, like, it's no skin off their back, and it at least prevents them from coming to the market with egg on their face for the next, series of months. So who knows?
Yep. And the other thing is that if you're like a conspiracy theorist and you think, BlackRock has the edge and they're going to come in and they want to be the first ETF or they want to be in that first pool, then is Grayscale like the incumbent, kind of the crypto ones that like, the big money, the OGs, the elites are kind of wanting not to be in charge of this whole thing, not to be in the lead? So do they just pull up some more bullshit reason? Grayscale spends another 12 to 14 months fighting it. And in that time, all the incumbent ETFs launch and kind of steal that market share. That's another possibility, I guess, if you're into that.
I don't know about that. I was watching a video the other day where this guy pulled out a stat that the majority owner of 88% of the stocks in the S&P 500 is BlackRock.
Yeah. They're pretty big. They're kind
Serious
of big.
power.
So, well, that's what I'm saying. So like, if they're coming in and kind of leading this charge, and I think a big reason people think this is like, oh yeah, this is the time we're going to get it this time, is because it's BlackRock. Then shouldn't they be lobbying to not let Grayscale in first, or to even hamper them as much as possible? So if you believe in them having that kind of control, I think it's not that far-fetched, but I don't know. I like the idea of it going live this fall. I think that would catch a lot of people off guard, especially if we just like break down from these levels. But my TLDR on my talk around this level is that I think this is worth punting longs on, because look, we got to ask ourselves, first of all, we're in a downtrend. So be aware of that. Counter trend trading, not always your friend. I guess technically we just broke up into a little uptrend, but I would call this like a rollover for now. It looks like it. But what's the long I'm trying to catch, right? If I'm trading Bitcoin here, if I'm trying to be long Bitcoin here, and there's an approval sometime between now and March, the move is over 32K. And then you're just off to whatever, like whole new world. So if I'm trying to catch that long, this is not a terrible place to try to catch it. I think there's better ones below. I think I will probably have to take a few, skin my knees a few times, take a few paper cuts if I want to be the guy trying to catch that long. But I said on the breakout day, especially after I closed that long, I said, if we come back into this reload zone here, I want to take that risk. I mean, what's that going to look like? Is it in it? I still am of the opinion that before the big fuck you long, there's just going to be like a puke, like take everyone out. No, I thought maybe that was this.
The puke, however, isn't going to stop at 25K. The puke is going to go all the way down to.
I'm banking on that myself.
That area is down at what, 21K?
Yeah, like the reload zone for the whole year, which is really the best place to think about investing in items
here.
That's like down from below 22, and the VPVR is getting support at 19. So, who knows? It's like this is the kind of time where we're like, that's way too bearish. Don't call for that.
Dan's arrived. Has Dan arrived?
Yeah,
Dan is in the house.
Dan is in the green room.
The CRO, dude.
I'm so sorry for being late. I was on a podcast with the Rainmaker team, and TLDR, essentially what they're building is actually very, very cool, and it's going to be something that, in my opinion, I'm obviously biased because I spent the last hour talking to them, is going to do extremely well. TLDR, can abstraction wallet that is going to bring on a lot of normies because it's just idiot proof.
What's the ticker?
Nice.
Whereby when?
There is no ticker. It's just a mobile application that you can use. Super awesome, man.
Much more wholesome that way. Although, LOL, not kidding. I was like, can I buy this now?
I've heard 2 whole sentences about this protocol. Where do I buy?
Hey, where do I buy?
So going back to like Beamish coming on the show, talking about the bund traders, how they would just try to get these 2-to-1s. So like you set up a trade, you say like, okay, I want to get 2-to-1. So if I can get filled here, and then if it hits this level, I'm going to sell half, move my stop to break even, because they just want to get a free look. that's kind of the mode I want to be in. I don't even know about 2-to-1. I'm thinking more 3-to-1, but it's that mode of like, can I get longs through this? That, you know, pretty tight risk reward. Close half, move, stop to break even, like pretty low risk, just to take that look, because the news is going to hit someday. It's probably early. I'm usually early to everything I do. And yeah, I'm with you guys. I mean, down here, I'm not giving up. I'm actually getting more excited. But the key is to be liquid when you're down there.
Dude, I really think we tapped that volume node.
At the bottom?
Yeah, guy.
Like the FTX volume node? That's very ambitious, but it's not that crazy. Let's pull up the old GAN. I mean, look, the GAN arc stopped us in our tracks. This thing is like tink, tink, tink. Like every time it touches that, it dunks. It didn't quite make it this time, but so like your level would be that 88.6, the one you're talking about. We go over here to the newer, more relevant GAN IMO, because that's drawn off this year. This is like the one I'm hoping will run through the whole next cycle. And then you look for some alignment with the 8-to-1. Like this 8-to-1, for those of you who think there's too many lines here and it's stupid, this angle is like, you know, the TRI, they're all like, oh, 8-to-1s are the sickest place to be buying things. So yeah, maybe this, what is that, December tax selling season, this arc, you know, probably a line in the sand, a little, then chop through there through the new year, and then hey, it's a bull season.
Yeah, I mean,
that makes sense.
There's been news that BlackRock is mostly pulling out of active investment in the US and looking to emerging markets, which is like typical of, you know, liquidity cycle, like tightening, just like sort of getting towards the end there, where like the gains are more to be had in emerging markets than in the US. And then like, yeah, like in terms of borrowing in credit markets, right? Like shit's tight. Like if you're a homeowner, you bought towards the top of the bull, your home equity hasn't necessarily gone down, but in order to refinance, you got to take a fucking like 4x interest rate compared to what you had previously. So if you need any capital, you're kind of screwed. And there are other reasons besides like your mortgage why you might need capital. That are becoming more and more prevalent. And I just kind of feel like there hasn't been enough blood yet as a fallout from what is the most aggressive tightening cycle ever. So I don't know. I just kind of feel like some bad's got to happen towards the end here. But maybe not. Maybe it's just sort of a bunch of worrying for nothing, and Jay Powell gets soft landing, and, you know, it turns out that just aggressively tightening 500 basis points in the span of 8 months is actually how you're supposed to do it.
It's COVID. It was a black swan. It's unique. I'll give you a bull take on the S&P because I don't trade it, but it got a really nice signal here from the breadth indicator. I'm just pulling it up. They just redid their website at TRI, but this is the algo we love. It's the one I've been trading off. It's a big swing algo. It just signaled along on the S&P on this bullish cross, which from oversold is usually like where you want to be if you're looking for one. What is that? A couple days ago anyways. And then there's this other thing going on in the S&P. The strongest technical candle signal you can get is like a key reversal. And that's what happened here, right? Where like there's just a big fuck you bar that engulfs like multiple previous bars. And so he was saying like, break down from here, anything trading below that is super bearish. So the fact that that happened and then just zipped higher is inherently thus very bullish. And then you get this like kind of big swing signal to the upside. So equities, they look good. I don't know what's going on with you and the mortgage rate stuff. I think you're right. I mean, I don't know how people are surviving right now, but it's looking like the S&P wants higher. Don't judge my chart. This isn't for public viewing. Yeah. I saw somebody post this channel, so I drew one myself. It looks bullish. It had every reason to go down here, and it just zipped higher. So
yeah.
I don't trade the equities, but in fact, all my equities are crypto stocks. So I don't enjoy that correlation. I just get this super high beta, like all these Mara, and they all had a big fun day the other day.
I love that on that chart. Short Mara, poof, big green dildo.
Yeah, somebody in the pit was like shared a tweet because I talked about like my crypto stocks because like the day Bitcoin rallied 7% on that news, and then Mara was up like 29%, and I was like, "Ooh, sick, high beta." And then he posted some thread about this guy who's like right here. He tweeted out like, "Oh man, short Mara, these Bitcoin mining stocks, these Bitcoin mining stocks are never going to be profitable." And I just was like, "Lol."
Well, those are highly leveraged. Aren't Bitcoin miners just highly leveraged because they all opened operations last bull with like financing, basically, right? Like,
I don't know. I'm not a fundamentalist, to be honest. I buy them because they go up when Bitcoin goes up, and they typically go up more. And you can see this through history. Like, you know, these kind of stronger names, like this thing went 47x. It's supposed to just be Bitcoin, like, you know, and it had a sick setup. Like TRI guys were all over this thing last cycle because it parked in the reload zone after a huge volume breakout. So like, I mean, everybody got in on this over there. And then it just went like sell having a double, sell having a double, sell having a double, sell having a double. So yeah, so when it comes back into like these zones and it starts huge volume building up, I'm like, yep, give me a bag. I sold half and a double like up through here, so I'm free rolling this, and yeah, I don't know what the fucking fundamentals are though. Don't ask me what their PE ratio is. Don't care. Bitcoin goes up, that thing's gonna go up unless it goes bankrupt. That's the other side of that.
Yeah.
So. But let's talk about shitcoins. We got two guys here from Blockmates. Enough about me and what I got in my shitcoin bag over on Stocktown. What are you guys doing over there?
Yeah, what you doing?
What can we like the on-chainers?
Yeah.
That's where the juice is these days.
Are you guys active right now, or are you just chilling and waiting for greener pastures?
Truth be told, like I'm chilling. Like I'm pretty much fully stable at the moment because I think September is going to be like a really dark, shitty month. And a lot of the projects I am watching are all just like up and to the right at the moment, but up and to the right where it's like gone parabolic. But then, you know, when things start to curl, that slight curl, and it can either just
lazily
wrecked.
creep over the parabola. Yeah.
Yeah. And
which one are you talking about? Give us an example I can pull up.
I mean, Unibot looks like that.
Yeah, this is my spread. This is my on-chain spread.
Unibot's done.
I want Unibot to come into this reload zone, so I'm happy to hear that.
$60.
And I think
I've not done research on this, but I know it's up and to the right. High PVP. I don't have a bag, but it's on the watch list. It's a HI PVP.
Okay. Yeah. Oh.
There you go. Just up and to the right.
Careful with these. Now, when they just do nothing but go straight up, let me show you one because I was looking at it. My buddies were buying it, and I was like, dude, that just looks like a rug. It did this. It was a rug, as it turns out. But like when they come up and just do nothing, like on the daily, it was just like 8 green candles or more. Like that's always suspicious. Careful.
Check out Aimbot then. So I think Aimbot, they've obviously got like a really good product.
It doesn't mean it's a rug, but yeah, this just looks like at the very least it's not viable. But let's go.
Bring up the hourly on Aimbot. It's really interesting to see the price action on this thing.
Sick.
Bring the hourly up. Just bring the hourly up. It's really important to see the hourly and the 4 hourly on this.
Oh yeah.
This thing has got probably the most bullish price action I've seen since the bull market. Like the selling and the buying on this thing is relentless all day long, and it's doing like crazy volumes.
Yeah, it's up to 900K today.
Yeah, it's just really interesting. The product is it's a proper product. I mean, they're essentially using AI to snipe shitcoins, and then they're giving 75% of the profits out to token holders. They've got something that, in my opinion, could be sustainable, regardless of what the market's doing. People are always going to trade. Shitcoins are always going to be coming up.
So hold up,
Aimbot house in order,
Aimbot snipes for you, like on behalf of the holders, or people can use it to snipe.
So they control it. So the devs control it, but then they take the profits. They take 75% of the profits and they distribute to token holders.
Okay. So I could go use it to snipe shit, but then 75% of my profit gets kept by the team to give out. So
Yeah,
it's like
you don't
sniping
control the block,
communism.
they control it. Exactly. So they're pooling all the funds and then they're just sending it out there to do the job.
Sick. That's wild, dude. I pulled up Banana Tracker. It's like a Telegram, banana bot thing. I don't know. And it just shows what everyone's aiming at, and it's nonstop, dude. Like it's like muskrat coin. Like it's insane right now.
Shout out to my muskrats.
Yeah, there's a new shit coin every 10 seconds. So I don't know, man. This bot stuff's above my head, but it is getting easier, right? Mom and pops sitting at home, they can now be the what's his name, Trabuco, who's like, I did indeed buy the entire block of STG at $25 million in one block. Like, you can do that now from home with any of these shit coins. It's just about where to aim it, I guess.
RT, I'd love to get your opinion on some of my not on-chain shit coins, sir, please.
Don't ask me that. They're all going to follow Bitcoin. Which ones do you like?
Well, I'm looking at things that are getting down to levels of high interest for me. So I'll start alphabetically. Check out ACH.
ACH.
This is a derivative of CFX. Same narrative.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like this. So there's two parts to this. First of all, high time frame, it's what you like because it sucked for a long time, and then it came into lows, probably on some bull divs, maybe even on a weekly. But came into lows, Momo's rolling back up, then a big blast of buy volume came in, sort of set the floor, and now it's trickling back down to that. So you have location down here. You're at the 88.6. That's a sweet level. It's still trending down, and no one has come in and put a buy in yet here, like big buys. So part one complete. You have your location. Now you want to see some divergence. So you want to see it's like, hey, it arrived here, but it's actually slowing down. It's not going to keep going. Don't really have that. If it breaks down here and like RSI doesn't follow, and this MACD definitely won't follow. So you're probably going to get the bull div on a move down here. Then you want to see that recovery and basically some buy volume and a W, and then you're set. But like this would be on my watch list for sure, like on the green list, the front and center green list.
Check out, Algo's interesting because I think it's making new lows right now. But
see guys talking about Algo BTC a lot in the TRI chat. I don't know. No, see, like that just looks like death.
Yeah.
Versus Bitcoin. Look at me up here charting it 2 years ago. Here, let's go to Algo. Algo versus dollars. Also, just negative price discovery. And frankly, and I don't know anything lately, but last I heard, Algo was a mess.
Yeah.
The project. Yeah, there was a project we were working with, and they got a grant, and they got onboarded, and there was all this stuff, and then they basically just ghosted them.
Okay, so this might be interesting to you. Check out API 3, which I believe is a link
I haven't heard
competitor.
that for a long time.
Yeah.
It's going up this week. It's got some nice buy volume.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like that's the end of the day. Like we guys like us, we don't put floors in markets. So you want to be getting in when you've seen like a whale put the floor in the market. This is a good sign. I don't know that I would call this a bottom yet. It still is just kind of like, somewhat down and to the right, but let's check the weekly. So like the latest weekly close was a lower low. So it's early, but it does look like it's trying to put in a floor here. And then you got to ask yourself, like, what's the thing you want to buy? Like the thing starting to put in a floor, or the thing that's just been like troughing for like 18 months? Because there's a lot of those.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look bad. I like to pick on DYDX when I'm thinking about those ones, because like, and again, I don't know the tokenomics, all the tech, but this thing came and did what basically that API 3 like is here, right? Sorry, you can't even see that on the stream, but like right over here, that's kind of APIs like, hey, I arrived. If this is the floor, I'm ready to build it. And then you get something like DYDX. It's like, I've been building my floor since June 2022. And so then I get more excited about a coin like this. And I don't own any, but just trying to pull comparisons so you see what I'm talking about might come next year for a name like API 3, because off of a floor like this, a big breakout, you get a very big, crazy, sustained rally. You pull up something like API 3, it could rip from here, but typically you want to see a stronger like floor. This looks
yeah.
Looks a little
What's
droopy.
your bull case on it then?
API 3?
Yeah.
It is incredibly low liquidity, and when it does find a floor, it pumps off of it aggressively. For no ass reason, because no one cares about it. That's about all I know in terms of fundamentals with it.
So is that your toast candle? Like, did you put in that green toast candle today?
Did not. I just been looking at it. I basically have high time frame ranges from the last year's bottom on everything and just waiting for things to get back down towards that. Because my argument here, there was a period during 2022 where majors were cratering, but all the shit coins were like out of sellers. Like they just weren't moving. They were just forming bottoms while BTC and ETH were still going down. And I feel like there's a select few shit coins right now where that's happening again, where like BTC still has room to go down, but these things are kind of out of sellers.
Interesting.
And so I got my eyes on them, and they're all really shitty. Dusk, FET. Well, FET's not actually really down there yet. FTM is fucking there. It's at the low.
I heard something today about FTM, like from the multi-chain hack, got totally rinsed. Like on-chain, like something like they got screwed as like a chain. I don't know the details. Like we were trying to pick up a coin over there, and it was like, is USDC still depegged over there from the multi-chain hack? And I was like, I don't know. There's like 3 variations of USDC over there. I couldn't figure out how to check their pegs, but might be something to think about. Like look into that. Figure out how screwed the chain is. Otherwise, yeah, like risking against these lows, it's not
pretty easy. Idea. Check out IDEX.
Terrible idea.
This is Victor's project, and it's basically trying to create a terminal-based experience for on-chain perps, I believe. But it got down there to the low. Yeah.
And so so same thing here again. You come into this low, big buy steps in. Now we've been chilling since May 2022. Haven't really made a new low, so you could call this a floor, and then a huge burst of buy volume, probably around that perp announcement, maybe.
Look at Joe, dude. And then same story, dude.
Down here. So any of these names, like anything, probably want to abandon ship at new lows because alts can literally fall into oblivion. And then if it's like, oh, it was a deviation, and then it goes back, okay, get back in against that low. But like, yeah, don't be a bag holder.
Don't be a hero. Yeah.
What's the other one you just mentioned?
Joe
was causing me some FOMO. Joe was causing me FOMO through this. I had none after trying to long it like through this. So it's up today. They must have announced something.
Yeah.
What did they announce? I don't know. I like Joe though. Their team is strong. I like Fish. This guy's build. And this is crazy volume. I mean, this is actually the highest volume they've had since ever trading on Binance. It's something to keep an eye on. Yeah. So going back to like that ACH, right? Where we're like, okay, we're in the reload zone, but we don't really have the momentum divs. We don't really have the W. This thing now today, if it closes above here, like you could say, oh yeah, I've got a W. Something to work with. It's not actually the cleanest one because typically you want to see coming down low, higher low. And then there's your W. This case, it was kind of a lower low. So maybe it needs a little more work, but that would be what we call overthinking things. But then you just got to ask yourself, is this the right market to like not wait for the absolute perfect setup? It's not exactly like FOMO mode.
Right.
But Joe looks good. I mean, especially the fact that someone stepped in big here today or there's news. It's probably something like I'd be really interested in just picking it up if it just chills here for a bit because once it does break out of that,
it's good to know Messi's still active in the market.
Yeah. This is what we call a messy candle. I see you. I had a good laugh today on my phone. I was just like ripping through my like Google Chrome tabs on my phone, and one of them just said income.eth across the top. I guess I had his wallet up like months ago.
Yeah.
Just give me a good laugh, man. I miss the guy. Income. Like just I miss all the banter, all the jokes.
Truly witty observations.
I had a single tear moment today where I was like, man,
is there a hidden meaning behind that name?
No, just like income, income, kind of like cash flow assets. He kind of had a transition through the last bull of like moving into cash flow assets, or actually I think through 2022, but I don't know. I had a laugh. What else we got? I really want to talk on chain. You know, sex coins are so next year, last year. Like they're just not right now.
Yeah.
But you brought up a few good names to chew on, and actually, I'm going to add a couple to my green list. Like, got this green list. Don't look at it. Okay, it's out of date. But I do want to add. Joe, is Joe on Coinbase now? See, I can only trade now, but Onchain it. Anyways, Joe's going on the list. STX, Mr. High Beta
Yeah, I was looking
Bitcoin.
at STX just now.
Yeah, this is another one. So, I mean, the whole world is the good coins, anyways. You can see the difference, right? There's some shit coins that are still making new lows. These ones are probably the ones you want to look at that are like they had a huge rally this year. Now they're chilling in high time frame reload zones, putting in W's, putting in some volume.
Yeah.
Like this
Did you
is
guys hear about
probably
Magic?
a great window to buy stuff, but I'm gonna wait because I'm a mid curver.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about FTT? Put up the FTT.
Yeah, let's go, dude.
There we go.
That's
Speaking
the
of shit
energy
coins.
that you bring.
because like FTT is such a weird one because it's had like three monstrous pumps, like monstrous pumps off the bottom, and it kind of looks like it's going to do it again. And if there is any news about FTX 2.0 4.5, I think that will probably see like a massive liquidation candle again.
Yeah,
and it's getting to those lows of like peanuts.
Yeah, that would be the higher low, wouldn't it?
yeah. I'll say this: the only thing that I think negates my interest in this, because you're right, if FTX 2.0 came out and FTT was a thing, but in the last big release that I read from their bankruptcy, they were zeroing out all the FTT balances. In other words, they were going to treat FTT as zero on anyone's claims. So that was a significant signal, I think, from like those who are in charge that they don't have much interest or love for FTT.
Check out WorldCoin, dude.
2.0 could come, and you're right though. Like it's probably just going to pump because people are, memers will meme, and it'll pump like, and then. But as far as like, hey, if FTX 2.0 comes, like, are we going to like see this again? My mid curve take is no, but anyways,
dude, you got to believe.
It's a high risk play here. It's a stupidly high risk play, but
that makes it very low risk.
Yeah. It's so stupid that it's in fact the lowest risk opportunity in the market. No, I mean, it's a good idea. You're not wrong. This thing has been like a 2x every time FTX 2.0 tweets something. So
I'm just putting my net worth into WorldCoin, dude. Inshallah.
Yeah, what's WorldCoin doing? It's probably down.
It's almost back at open.
What's its ticker?
WLD.
WLD.
Not to be confused with Wilder World.
That's what I was thinking. It looks like Wild. Yeah, see? Down only.
Wrecked. Look at that.
Oh, snap. You actually have more data than my chart.
This is Binance. There's probably a few out there, but
I'm on KuCoin, the People's Exchange.
Maybe
I think today or yesterday they had the most signups in Argentina.
Yeah.
As a random fact.
Super bullish world.
I have no idea what they're gonna do with this thing from a user point of view, but when it came out at like a 30 billion FDV, and then like what was the float, like 1%? I mean, it's just
that's the thing.
It's going to go down.
Everyone hates it. Everyone's shorting it, and it's one of those coins that's very easy to create short squeezes on because it's low float. And it's like it is the one you least expect. It's the one everyone hates, and that just smells like a cartel coin to me, dude.
So when did you start going long then? Because it's gone down quite a lot.
I have zero WorldCoin, but I'm waiting. I'm waiting for signs of life.
Well, there was a guy in the pit who's like nailed the short. Like he's like, "Oh, I'm short from 260," and I was like, "Dude, I don't usually give financial advice, but don't fucking close that short." Like I was like, I can't trade on Bybit, but if I could, I would love to be in that short because there's so many of these plays, like all the FTX coins back in the day, like Maps and Oxy, like, and they're probably the easiest shorts in your life when you look at the float and the FDV, like serum at some points, like. And I never caught any of them. Another great example here, ICP.
I've got
Insane
one
clown
for you.
posse, dog.
Go and take a look at
Much
take a look at
motherfucking
Cyber.
wicked clown love.
What's up, Jedi?
Go take a look at Cyber.
I can't understand you today.
SYBER.
S.
Cyber.
Okay, SYBER.
No, it's C.
Oh,
See.
C.
Cyber.
I don't know why your accent's messing with me today. I usually don't miss a beat with you, but Cyber Connect?
Yes, just bring it up.
Oh God. Okay, this sounds very sus.
What's
Cyber Connect.
Ooh, that's a nice breakout though. Is this legit? Is this one you're like, you like this one?
No, so Loma, you know Loma on Twitter?
Yeah, he was posting some crazy
he made
P&Ls yesterday.
Yeah, so he posted and he said, take a look at Cyber, like a scalper's dream. This thing will do like 10, 20% moves in either direction. Definitely worth your while. And that's where I picked it up. And he's spot on. I mean, the thing just is...
He might be
really
talking about
interesting
this.
from
Oh,
Yeah.
never mind. Yeah, that's on. So it is on Binance. Yeah.
Wasn't
yeah, it's on Binance.
Wasn't it like, what was it, like DWF or something? One of the big like firms or cartels was like moving big bags of this.
I've never heard of it. I don't know. I feel out of the loop. That's a sick breakout though. Like when you just see a coin come out and do that, kind of like wedge out for a little bit, just quiet, and then just get this monster break in volume. They typically go on a multi-leg run, but
you know what the thing is?
Down
this is the trap. This is the trap, RT. I bet you this thing is going to get people continuing to long, and then it's just going to do exactly the opposite. Whether it's long or short, the predominance is going to land up getting completely rinsed on this one.
What is it?
Yeah. This is the kind of attitude I expect from you after 2 years of this bearish washing machine bullshit. But you're not wrong. But you look at anything and you say, I just bet like broad stroke comment here. Whatever the consensus is in this, it'll go the other way. Fuck this market. Like, it's literally just ingrained in the brain right now. You can't win, people. There's no winning.
No, you can, but you've got to be really on the counter. You got to be countering everything. It's really that simple.
It's funny because what you're describing,
Rollbit, dude.
Yeah,
Rollbit is the king of this market right now. I mean, what that thing is doing is ridiculous. And no,
it's
I
up?
don't have a bag, dude. It just continues going up, bro. It doesn't stop.
It's in a really nice accumulation place now.
Yeah,
like it's like 18 cents.
I hate it because I looked at it at 2 cents for so long, and I was using Rollbit, like I was fucking around in the casino, and I was like, "Why is this not more? The token must suck.
Dude,
it must
look
have
at your original, bro. Look at your PRZ zone down and to the left before it broke out. Look at that.
Yeah, that's what we were on with Brian. We had this up. We were doing a bunch of analysis. This thing actually posted.
Remember, we had Brian on, and Brian's like, "It's going to do this," and it did exactly that, and then it just went straight fucking up again.
Yeah, I mean, this thing lived at like fractions of cents early. I don't think there was liquidity here though. I think that's what we looked up that day. This is CoinTrader Pro, so it pulls its data from CoinMarketCap. This doesn't mean there was a live market down there. I don't know what that was, but all I know is through this spring, I was actually fucking with Rollbit, and I saw the token. I was like, oh, it's too bad that their token sucks. It'd be like, it seems like they're super popular. So mid curve, like, no, just go buy a bag.
Too bad that their token's not great. Anyways, I'm gonna keep gambling on this protocol.
Yeah. Seriously, I could have taken everything I put in Rollbit and just stuffed it into their coin and been up more than not at all.
Yeah, you literally, instead of buying MGM Grand stock, you just kept on playing blackjack in MGM Grand. That's hilarious.
Yeah, pretty much.
So RT, this is the kind of coin protocol, however you want to describe it, that will continue going up, and it will probably do like a 10 billy in the bear just to rub salt in our wounds continuously. That's what this thing is probably going to land up doing.
I don't know. It looks like it could be double topping here now that we're.
Yeah, I was gonna say, dude, you got a TR smile there.
Like even level 1. Like if it comes in, like if we break below that, then the market is smiling at you and get the fuck out for a bit. I mean, at some point, every asset I've ever charted, unless it's a scam, at some point always comes down and visits its reload zone. And you feel dumb when you call for those and then they don't come but then eventually they do. Right. So at some day, from some level, this thing is going to park in the reload zone. No one's going to give a shit about it. There'll be some nasty news that got it there. So there'll be a reason not to care. Bitcoin, same thing. I mean, even last bull, I think I made a reload zone video about it and then it never came.
What is
yeah,
the
it was right
on
here.
Rollbit currently? What is the reload zone on Rollbit right now?
Let's go see. It starts at like 8 cents, 9 cents, and then the sexy part, is down around 5 and 6, 5 and 7.
Okay.
So like 5 to 9 cents is like an investable level on a coin like this. But it's going to get down there on some news probably, right? So then you're going to be like, well, now I don't want to invest. And that's usually how it goes. I try to just stick to charts for that reason.
Yeah.
But I remember very distinctly, it's on this channel, you can find the reload zone video I made, and I was talking right here. After this breakdown, I was like super bearish. I was like, oh, I guess we're cooked for a bit. I don't know why. In retrospect, it looks stupid, but I was looking at this reload zone and it never came. But did it come? Yeah, it did. It just means you had to miss the whole bull market. Right. But here it was in that reload zone and no one wanted to buy it, or at least a lot of people didn't, right? So all these assets, they eventually all come back down. And then, we just looked at like 10 altcoins on your list, Toast Malone. And they're all chilling in their reload zones right now. Not very interesting. I'm sitting here saying, wait, it's probably just time to DCA into some of those names, because then they'll do a roll bit thing. And then I'll be sitting here like, reload zone next year. Like,
yeah,
you got to.
That's why I'm intently staring at them, is just, and really, I'm just looking to return to the point of origin on these high time frame ranges, return to last year's lows and look for my spots there. But more importantly, have you guys heard of AVAX subnets?
Yep.
Look at AVAX, dude. It's like,
yep.
No, I'm just kidding.
Are you mocking me because I said that in the pit the other day?
Did you? I didn't know that. No, I'm not mocking you.
No, I did. I took my first shot on AVAX right here. Just because there was like a market-wide puke on alts. And I was like, oh, last time that happened was this. And then it was up only for a bit, Solana especially. So I took my first long attempt on AVAX in a while. And I got stopped out at like 10.99 right here.
Damn.
So. But like this one's inflation-y. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. AVAX giga inflates.
So I am nervous about last cycle's darlings having a really good time this cycle. I'm sure they'll have their runs when it's up.
I'm wondering if the team's going to give up, because this shit's depressing, dude.
But no, they won't. That's the thing. I have no sense of like, I have no sense that they're dead at all. We're in a chat with Hxro Labs.
I can guarantee you the AVAX team. I can guarantee you the AVAX team is not giving up. There's actually quite a big move.
What a bunch of psychos.
They're not, man. Hxro Labs, like the investment wing, there's a ton of shit going on over on AVAX. It's just the age-old question, how can that impact tokens? You need a bull market. And then I'm not going to go and be that guy that says like none of these L2s, L1s make new highs. Again, they might. It's just there's just shinier toys, and I'm going to play that game because that's the game that does the most, the best.
Speaking of which, ARB is depressing.
Yeah. An airdrop token, man. It's got 0 cost basis. It's going to go down a lot.
Ooh,
technically. So this is going to be one to watch.
I have
but not one to buy for a while.
I have an important question to ask you guys.
Yeah.
It's very important. The question is, in light of what we are experiencing on a macro scale, level, do you believe that the halving will have a significant impact on the price of Bitcoin and therefore the rest of the crypto markets, irrespective of what the macro climate is doing? What are your feelings around that?
Toast Malone?
What? Say it again?
Chief Ramen?
I can jump in first. I don't mind. So I don't think it's going to do a lot. If market sentiment when the Bitcoin halving happens is similar to it is now, not a lot's going to happen. Simple as that.
Wait, what's going
Like,
to happen after the halving? Is that the question?
If pretty much, like, it's like if we get these like Bitcoin ETFs approved, what's going to happen? Well, same thing as a couple of days ago. Quick liquidation grab, and that's it. Awesome. A Bitcoin ETF, fantastic. But what's actually really happening is all these TradFi are stealing our Bitcoin, right? They're taking our beloved Bitcoin. They're taking away our decentralization, ladies and gentlemen, and they're taking it and they're bundling it up into a bag, right? A little goodie bag that they're going to go and put on Interactive Brokers or Saxo or eToro and then sell to your mum and dad, right? They are taking decentralization away from us. Why is that? Why is an ETF going to be bullish with crypto, bro? It's not. Wider adoption. They're going to bring in the normies. No, bro. The normies are going to go to like the financial institute products that are out in the real world. They're not going to have to use MetaMask. They're not going to have to use Rainmaker, fucking like Phantom or whatever, right? Like a Bitcoin ETF ain't as bullish as people think. And I don't think the Bitcoin halving, if we've got circumstances like we have right now, I don't think it's going to do a huge amount. I'm a bear. Come at me.
I can't tell if you're being serious right now.
No, mate, dead serious, mate.
Are you baiting me?
Mate, you seen how passionate I am? Get out of here, bro.
I feel baited.
Mate, you are not baited. But please give an argument against me.
The Bitcoin futures ETF was literally the top of the first 2021 leg, and I've questioned whether a spot ETF is really that bullish. Like, it might be a sell the news. That said, basically the halving is
dude, there's nothing left to sell, just FYI.
Mate, you know we have a spot Bitcoin ETF. There is one now. It's trading on the Amsterdam exchange from a few lads at one of the London asset management firms. There is a spot ETF for Bitcoin.
Right. That's a little diff though, isn't it?
Yeah, we have spot ETFs in Canada. We've got 3 actually. One for ETH, 2 for Bitcoin.
It's just not American.
Yeah, but that's the thing. So the US obviously is the capital, peak of the world. BlackRock, whatever.
The American here, I just want to say you guys are cute as hell. Okay,
you shut your mouth.
The Canadian spot ETF.
So this is the Canadian spot ETF. It doesn't look super liquid. It's not. The Bitcoin one is way more liquid than the ETH one. I can vouch for that because I closed a position at market once on ETH and it had some slippage. It wasn't even a huge position, but it's basically mirroring Bitcoin's price. It's trading at a minor, tiny little premium. Based on what they've got.
I agree with you, Dan. I don't think the spot ETF is necessarily like the catalyst to anything different than what we've ever seen. That said, given what we've ever seen, I think that yellow halving line on my chart is my just notification to turn off my brain and go balls deep long and leverage my whole portfolio. Like, it really is. That's what I'm thinking of it as. What will add confidence to that is if we see a major capitulation event before it, and then I'm really turning off my brain. And I'm
technically we just saw one. It was the biggest capitulation or liquidation cascade since FTX, which was the capitulation of the last down.
We need more blood.
The thing is that there's almost like this sentiment like we need another one.
That's the cope that I want in my life, though. Yeah. In fact, you 3 right now are displaying the type of mindset that makes me think this market is more investable than a lot of people feel like it is.
It's just,
let me explain that. Go ahead.
I'm currently investing, bro. Like, let's be very clear.
We're all long as balls.
No. Let's be very clear about something. Okay, so let me just answer my question for you guys. I believe that the halving will have an impact in terms of what the market does, and I think it will be quite a positive one. My only concern is that it's not going to last long at all. I think it's going to be very short-lived.
That's so weird that people are saying that. If everyone's saying, like, there might be a little rally off the halving, it's like, no, dude, it's going to kick off the next bull run. Like, that's what's only ever
if it kicks off the next bull run, I'm flying to your humble abode and I'm going to touch you in a
mate, I'm flying to your bakery. I'm going to fly to your bakery. We're going to have like sliced bread and cheese and ham.
Exactly.
I always buy ham at the bakery.
That's just Dan's way of saying that he's also going to touch you inappropriately.
Dude,
look, this is the last halving. What was the date? It was in May.
And
then it just like peanut
Yeah.
wedged. I don't even know what that is, but it just wedged. Like this was the most dead I have ever seen Bitcoin price. I distinctly recall, because it's really
and just held it for literally 2 years.
a weird thing, right? Because the halving, and so this really lends credence to the fact, or the theory, I should say, it's a theory, that it's not the halving that's been pushing Bitcoin higher every time. It just happens to align with liquidity cycles, global liquidity cycles.
That's the way that everyone's been fancying it up this bear. But
This year, yeah.
Like they always have a way to everyone always has a thing to say.
It's not the halving, it's this.
It's like, dude, one thing, like I usually am the skeptical guy. You guys know me. Like I'm not the guy to be like, dude, turn off your brain. It's time to go balls along. Like, just like it's only ever happened. For it to not happen again, something would have to happen that has never happened before.
Yeah.
Like that's the only ever been.
It makes sense because the halving mathematically is insanely predictable, right? You should be able to predict exactly how much it should reprice in advance of the event, and it should be getting priced in advance, and it never has. It's always been the halving happens, and in last halving's case, it like happened and did fuck all for like 6 months, and then it exploded.
Yeah.
And so it does actually make sense that it's not that, it's something else. And so this whole liquidity cycle thing is
like been proven wrong about the halving's effect 3 times in a row to the tune of millions of X's, but this time it must be different. That's the argument.
Yeah, it does seems absurd. Let me tell you this. My take on the ETF is not original. It's the other side of the coin. You guys are kind of like, it's probably not going to have a big impact. Look, there is a lot of money out there, like way more than is already in crypto, than is not in crypto. And most of it is managed money, professionally managed, regulated rails, whatever. They can't get in. They can't touch this shit. You ask a prop trader at some firm on Wall Street, be like, hey man, do you buy some Bitcoin? I mean, they can kind of get it through the futures now, but the bottom line is they laugh. They're like, dude, I can't go to Binance and buy Bitcoin for my clients. Like, I'd get fired. That demand is being seen. Larry Fink has talked about it. Assume because he's about to have a product for it, so he's talking up his bags. But there is demand out there to have exposure to this asset class, and they are creating through this spot ETF the railway to do that. And because it is a spot-backed ETF, if somebody goes and buys it, they need to, on the back end, go and buy it and custody it, likely with Coinbase. A lot of the applications are listing Coinbase. So you just have this monstrous pool of liquidity outside of crypto right now. This tiny little thing that we call crypto that feels big, but it's tiny. It's smaller than Apple stock. I think like less than 50% below the size of just one stock in one country. And then you're going to take that huge pool of liquidity and you're going to create an on-ramp. I think it can only have one impact, and that impact is up. I don't think they can even launch it and then it's a sell. Like, how do you sell the ETF before you buy it? There's just going to be buyers. So that's my take.
Mate, the way you do that in a pre-sale.
Yeah, the pre-sale of the ETF, and then they'll dump it on the public when it goes live. No, look, there's demand out there for this thing, and then because the ETF price should track, because it's spot backed, and the available Bitcoin for sale right now is actually very low relative to the total Bitcoin in supply. So, as much as like for risk of sounding like, everyone who's excited about this on Twitter makes you feel uncomfortable, right? You want to take the other side of that bet because everyone's saying the same thing, but they're saying the same thing because it's kind of mathematical. It's like,
Coach, I want you to clip this and remember it for all time. I'm going to give you the order of events.
Here we go.
Sideways and down. Spot Bitcoin positive news. Fake out to the upside. Massive liquidation event. Recovery and sideways. Halving. Maybe a little bit more sideways. Bull market. That's my expectation.
Okay, so
on that bombshell, guys, I have to go. I'm very, very sorry, but it has been an absolute pleasure. I hope I've enlightened people with my useless comments, but I am the chief ramen officer.
You have, dude. I missed you, man. It's been great to have you on today. I don't know why we thought this was a regular stream without a special guest. As far as I'm concerned, you are that special guest.
We are the special guest.
It's been a goddamn pleasure.
Yeah,
guys, thank you so much. Peace
Appreciate
out.
it.
Peace
Take
out,
care,
Cheers,
Dan.
dude. Dude, we've been so freaking busy. Like, I'm actually surprised he made it. Like, he had a stream before that. I think he's got another one. He's got another interview, and the dude's so busy. It's ridiculous.
Well, I really liked his take. I thought it was passionate. It was right in the face of everything that I believe and that most people believe. And we need that, man. We need that in the pit. You can't just have a bunch of people singing the same song. It's uncomfortable. In fact, when everyone's singing the same song, I feel compelled to go the other way. But
yeah.
this gave me the spirit I needed to go bullish on this take. But yeah, I could see that, dude. Like, I kind of said that on stream on Tuesday. Like, the sideways and down. It's like this market is in its peak end of like washing machine cycle, so it should be a lot of like fake out, take it back, fake out, take it back. Like, it's just meant to make you as poor as possible before doing what it's going to do next, which presumably is go up.
Jedi's favorite commentator, Ben Cowan. I liken it to what he says. Pre-halving year, you spend half the year wrecking bears, and then the other half of the year wrecking bulls.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's what Brian calls the washing machine cycle, and it's happening. I mean, we're seeing it in real time. It's up and down like a horse doors, as he likes to say. So that's probably one of my favorite Brianisms. Yeah, what do you guys think about dominance? I mean, I think it's going to climb. I don't think it's topped out. I think this is a monstrous bottoming formation, and it broke out, and now it's just chilling, making everyone forget about it. And then it's just going to go, hey, look, I'm approved. Bing. Yep. Bona.
I think Bitcoin dominance is a meme, and I'll tell you why I think it's a meme, because what it does is that it actually stifles true like innovation within finding where the real action is happening in the market. It doesn't matter what's happening in the market, there's always upside somewhere. And I think this chart here is a stifler, and it just prevents people from going out and doing the work and finding those really good plays. There's a lot of people in this current bear market that are at portfolio all-time highs. I know that sounds bizarre to say that, but I know quite a few of them. And it's just a fact that if you sit and watch this chart and you worry about what Bitcoin's doing in relation to everything else, you're not going to go and find the gems. That's why.
Well, it's easy to say that 3 months into on-chain summer.
Yeah.
Because you're right. On-chain summer's been great, and there's been a lot of major X's going on chain, and they do not reflect on this chart. So if you were literally sitting back like a crypto boomer from 2017, like myself, waiting for this chart to be bullish for altcoins, probably going to be waiting a long time. And like you say, missing out on some great opportunities. That's a really good point.
Hearing you say that, call it on-chain summer, made me realize that, like, well, that's all 2019 was. You could call it DeFi summer, but all the DeFi coins were just on-chain coins of the day.
Yeah.
So this is almost exactly what 2019 was like.
And it makes sense because there's less liquidity in the market.
As a repeat. Yes. But this needs to be penned in. It's like the way that we watch Bitcoin and what it does over time. We need to also start paying attention to what DeFi is doing. I mean, I know it seems obvious to make that statement, but people forget it and they fade it. And they think, oh, it was a flash in the pan, but it's happening again, guys. I mean, there's been several hundred X's that I've seen literally play out in front of me. Unibot is a perfect example of fading it at $2 and it went all the way to almost 200. Like that's how you make dude, that's how you make literally life-changing money on one bet. It's insane. So let's not underestimate the importance of being wide awake in terms of what's happening in this market, and don't restrict yourself to central exchanges and majors and Bitcoin and ETH only. I mean, obviously you can make a serious amount of bank on those. I'm not fading that, but be aware of what's going on outside of that realm of possibility.
Well, the difference is that, like, in a bull, I can blindly ape on-chain shitcoins.
Yeah.
In this one, I have to not only be like extremely right, but my chances of being right about this and that shitcoin are far lower. And if I am wrong, the consequences are far higher.
Rugged.
That's why I'm not like that excited about playing on chain, because like they're just as much opportunity to get wrecked.
It's trickier. I mean, you can't really short them yet. There are some products coming, hint, hint, that might allow us to short certain things that aren't traded on
I think
sixes.
here busy with something.
Yeah, we're cooking. I should say they're cooking. I'm not the cook at all. I just hear about, I smell what's in the kitchen and I'm like, oh, that smells tasty. Yeah, it's hot ball of money stuff, right? And the hot ball of money is small right now. It's in a very select place, following very select narratives. And Rollbit and Unibot, I think, could probably top the charts for hype this summer. And then you see what comes after them. Winner is one we missed. We were talking about it on one of our market calls over at the fund down here, right as it made this little break at like 2.5 cents. We were like, oh, Winner's probably going to catch a Rollbit hype train, and then didn't buy it because we wanted to buy the dip after the W. But point is, there's been some heat. There's been a lot of heat over there. So you're not wrong. And all I would say is there will be a time, I'm sure of this, there will be a time when dominance has gone, probably post ETF world, where it's just had a nice rip. It'll go higher than almost everyone expected, as it usually does. Up here was one example. Up here was another example. Up here was another example. So, and then after that, and that's tons of new liquidity onboarded into the market. This is your bull case, not your guarantee. But, from there, just say it gets up to here or something, gets up to here. Like that fall from there, that's when, your ETH is mooning and some of the other ones. I don't know which ones they'll be. Will it be Solana, AVAX, ETH? Like, probably not. I think it'll be Solana and ETH. I have tons of faith in them. I'd be excited if it's AVAX. I have, no lack of faith there. It's just the inflation stuff. And for now, there's just no life there. But on the coin itself. But and I know they're cooking over there too. So one thing that occurred to me when you guys were
you want to know which majors it's going to be. I'll tell you now for another case of beers. OP is definitely Optimism. Yeah. Optimism is going to Malt Faces. Say Sui, Aptos. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Like all of those kind of phantom chains right now, they'll find their groove. They'll be fresh and new in everybody's eyes. Radix is another one that's going to completely obliterate any notion of what an ecosystem can do. I am so bullish on what Radix are doing from a technical perspective that it's just impossible for them not to find some kind of traction in the next bull.
I just weren't I hear about Radix, and all I knew about them was that they were the primary funder of YouTube cheese dicks last bull. Like they paid for a shitload of advertising amongst like the Ben Cowens of the world. And I just was never that bullish on it, and it just didn't do a whole shitload. But then I know they had that big pump like a few months back, right?
April, yeah. They went nuts in April. I think this is the
they
one.
Were launching. Yeah, they were launching their full stack. Their full stack was delayed by a month, and that's why it's delayed. Pardon?
Yeah.
They do enterprise blockchains for companies.
No, dude. Right. They are their own blockchain. They've got different tech. They've been developing it for 10 years. It essentially solves all the current problems that any blockchain currently experiences, particularly with scaling. It's a whole different experience, dude. Like the whole onboarding experience is completely flawless. It takes the whole pain and suffering of onboarding onto DeFi to a whole new level. These guys,
what's the token do?
Something quite special. What does the token do? It's a governance token.
Governance? Is it gas?
Yeah. It's gas, yes.
Gas and gov. Okay. Right. Gas and gov. Well, and so that's a good point, right? Do we look to the dinos of this cycle? Last cycle's dinos. Soluno, AVAX. Probably not as much as maybe some of these newer ones. I'm super bullish on Solana. I think it's going to have a 2.0 day. But yeah, you're right. You named a number of really interesting chains that are parked in reload zones, not making new lows, building bases, prepping their tech, their onboarding users. There's a new chain coming out. Can't talk about it yet, I don't think. But there's nothing to do with it anyways, but it's really interesting. And so in many ways, blockchain has not been solved yet. These guys might have it. Someone will. It's not really been solved yet.
These guys claim to have, and they've done a lot of research. I mean, dude, this thing's been developed by Dan Hughes for the last 10 years. And I asked the question, I interviewed the CEO about, like, crypto moves so fast. Like, how do you guys kind of like substantiate all the time that you've taken in building this thing? And his response was really compelling and I think very accurate in saying that if you're going to be making, or if you are building technology that essentially is going to redefine the way that this entire space works, but more importantly, works correctly, it's not going to take a year or two to build. It's going to take a long time and a lot of trials and a lot of tribulations. And I think that I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. I'm definitely very bullish, and I've been loading up on this thing. So
nice. Where do you buy this one?
I'm gonna go. And Disclosure.
Yeah. Well, you have a bag. That's
one of the
weird if you didn't.
There's KuCoin selling it. So XRD.
Yeah. KuCoin and Bitfinex are the two that I recognize on that list. MEXC has it. Gate.
What did you call it? The exchange of the people.
The international exchange.
Gate.io. There's a few like sort of second tier exchanges with it, and it's not on chain because it's not ERC20. So I wonder if there's like a wrapped or XRD.
There is a wrapped one.
I'll try there's ways to get it. It's gettable. You can OTC it through Blockmates for 1%. No. If you guys are still here watching the show today, you probably really like us. So you should probably hit the like button if you haven't already. I see 12. Let's see if we can crank that up. I don't even know how many people are watching. I don't have the producer view anymore, but really great to have you guys here today. I missed this, guys. Look, the guest list has been fire, and I enjoy having the guests on, and then they retweet us out and we grow a bit. I love that shit. But I missed this. I missed just straight up shitcoin talking with you guys. I'm not trying to like wrap up the stream necessarily, but I just wanted to point that out. Like the video, and I do miss
good to be back with
the
you.
OG pit kind of crowd. I'll give you my take on the bots. I don't think they're dead. I don't think it was just a hype thing. I mean, the hype was there.
Going to talk about the bot? Are we talking about the bots? Yes, please. I'm after you, RT.
Yeah. Let's talk about the bots. I wouldn't even say I was a non-believer. I just wasn't buying them and playing with them. I think they're going to follow Unibot because that's pretty obvious. That's what they've been doing. Unibot's coming off a bit. I want it to come off. I never bought any. I want it to live in this reload zone. And I've got this multi-chart up on my my non-exhaustive multi-chart. There's probably some more bots out there. Definitely are. But these are the ones that I've got. House is the sports betting one. BS is like Blacksmith. It's like some AI-powered sniping stuff. Sounds really cool. Actually here, the dev disappeared for 7 days. And so it came off really hard. And then he kind of came in and was like, hey guys, I've had food poisoning. I've been down and out for a week. I kept thinking I'd be back, but like now I am. And then that put in its low. Its volume is really interesting. I know its volume is really interesting. Like there's a lot of buying going on here. So I actually re-entered my bag after taking a small profit on it through this.
My investments are with one-person companies where if that
where he gets sick and then the whole thing like is a rug. So it's risky in the sense that they don't have a product yet, and so if it launches, there's that risk. But anyways, I like Blacksmith. Smart person I know shielded me on it deeply, and he sold me on it, so I like that. The bag, I don't know what the hell it does. I just saw it getting shielded like crazy at the highs, so I put it up here saying I might buy it at the lows. But none of these to me are that exciting until Unibot comes into its reload zone and cleans up itself. It peaked on Unibot X launch day, right around $200. That was the high, which is typical for crypto. Sell the news into a big product launch. I want to see it, however it gets there. I want to see it here. I think this is a really nice level. It's a very obvious technical level. So that's all the way down at like $43, and nobody is going to want to buy Unibot at $43. Trust me. They're all going to be like, oh, bots are dead. It's stupid. So that's kind of where I'd like to start thinking about building a position in something like Unibot. And then that's when I get more excited about the rest of the stuff on my multi-chart, which for now is looking pretty chill to not be long.
Dude.
Which one?
We all all would have been outperformed by just shorting Thursday morning and closing sometime midday, like for the past.
Oh, like generally on Thursday mornings.
Yeah. Stream day, dude. It's goated. It's been going a little bit clear, but still, like Thursdays. Down.
We used to get pumps on Thursdays. Remember, we used to have in the uptrend, like Thursdays is move day, though. You're right. It's like in the uptrend, it was an up day, and the downtrend, it's a down day.
Yeah, it's the most volatile day.
So based on the price action during a stream, you should know what kind of trend we're in. Right now, it's a downtrend.
Yeah.
We just made a lower high on a positive news event. I mean, I'm taking a lot of risk, small risk size, but it's a high risk trade to try to be longing, which is what I said I was going to do. I'm probably still going to do it.
What do you want to get long here?
Not like this second. I'm not going to go long right now, but generally speaking, yes. When that, at this level against this low, because that was a big liquidation cascade, I like being long and being invalidated by that liquidation cascade low, because if it was a shakeout,
I'm busy, dude. I'm on live.
Tell him, bro. Say, yo, Papa's working. Get to school. I don't care if it's summer holidays. You show up and cut grass.
Sorry, guys.
No, my point is, when I see a liquidation cascade, I like risking against the low of that cascade, because it's either the start of a bear and it's like, oops, I'm wrong, or it's like an uptrend and it's shaking it up before the big move. So yeah, I love the idea of getting long here and getting stopped out here and then trying again down here. Because if I'm right, it's going to be worth a hell of a lot more than if I'm wrong is going to cost me.
Yeah,
but if I had to be a betting man, I'd say I bet I get stopped out and then we go lower, but I still want to take that bet.
Well, it's coming off of the breaker right now. So since we started stream, it hit the breaker, which is the point of origin for that pump.
Yeah, that's where I was hoping to long. So I think I missed it during the stream. That's too bad. I was trying to like long the news pump breakout level.
Yeah,
it's a very Barty looking thing. So
I mean, under that breaker, I'd be like giga short right now. But
here's why I'm not that bothered by missing this exact pip right here. Look, we're heading into a weekend. We're heading into September. We're heading into a long weekend. Summer doldrum weekend is the finale of that. I don't think it's like like I don't think I'm worried about that. If anything, I think we just get more of this.
Yeah.
And this news pump took us out. And then, oops, it was just news. It wasn't even that special. Brought us back. I mean, not that special in the sense that it has no real imminent impact on price action. Like an approval of an ETF will have real life implications on the supply and demand. But yeah, right now I expect us to just continue this shit for, whatever. So I'd love to not be long until Tuesday, because that's when the markets will open. We'll have a new month. And then we'll see what Tuesday looks like. And if it gives me some really gnarly like opportunities at the lows against that, again, everything against this liquidation cascade. If there's anything bullish here, we should not revisit that. That was forced sellers. That was the most forced sellers we've ever had since friggin' November 2022 when FTX collapsed. So if I want to be a bull to go higher from this area, anything trading even one pip below that is a goddamn invalidation, and I'll be out.
Yeah.
But as close to that as I can get without going over, that's Bob Barker, baby. I'm long.
Dude, he died, didn't he?
Yeah, at 99. And there was such an OP tweet about it. It was just like, dude, went as close to $1 without going over as possible. Fucking legend. Yeah. Something like that. He died at 99.
Wow.
Rest in peace to the man who got me through all my sick days home from school, my suspension days home from school. Good old Price is Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my take here. And again, I think there's probably like, I don't know, 20% chance that it's a winning trade and an 80% chance it's a loser. But the point is the risk reward on it will be so high that I don't have to be right on something like that 1 in 10 times for it to be profitable. That's rough numbers on how I see it. So,
dude, this stream is gonna moon off of the halving.
I think so, man. I think we got some good stuff cooking here. I like us. I'm still here.
I'm a fan of us, dude.
It's been 3.5 years, and I'm enjoying the shit out of it. So, I mean, I got 3 kids, and I still came back. So,
yeah, it's a lot of kids, friend.
It's a lot, dude. They cry a lot. They're pretty good babies, but like, yeah, last night they were crying quite a bit, and I was like, "Fuck, dude."
You're in the middle of CIA torture right now.
They're supposed to learn stuff and then cry less. They're actually crying a hell of a lot more right now. So I think there's going to be some ebb and flow, but it is a lot. I'm already like shopping for leashes. I'm chasing my toddler around, and I'm like, dude, when there's 3 of them, forget about it. I don't have enough arms. I'm gonna have to get a leash, like a Hydra leash with like 3 little ends on it, and we'll just, if we're being in public, I mean, I'm gonna yank that one thing, and then they're not running on the road or some shit. It's gonna be scary.
Well, it was fun to catch up with y'all. I'm excited.
It's been a blast.
We're creeping into action period where we say pay attention, but like the next 5 months, the next 5 to 8 months are like serious pay attention time.
According to analysts, there's a 75% chance of an ETF approval. According to me, there's a 98% chance that you will miss that news and not be long for the event, myself included. So it's a scary thought, and it is time to pay attention, but it's probably that time where you start paying really close attention, and then you get so fucking bored, and you go through like tax selling season through December, and everything's shit, and you're just like, I'm not paying any more attention. And then on like February 18th, randomly it'll just be like, boop, ETF approval, boop, and then you'll be like, that was the trade. Missed it.
Cool. Thanks for the help, Arch.
Well, keep an eye on February 18th.
Yeah. We'll rock, dude.
Which is a Sunday, so that's definitely not happening.
I'm gonna just keep scalping Monday Rangers.
Yeah, I just named a weekend. That sucks. It could have been a cool prediction. Let's say February 22nd.
Watch it be the 18th.
Guys, okay, you know what? For fun, because we have a producer now, and he actually takes clips and saves stuff. What is your date upon which believe the ETF will be approved?
I think before the new year, actually.
Okay. Give me a number.
Actually, yeah. I don't have enough data to actually make any sort of accurate prediction, but I'm just going to say
it's a punt.
The back half of October.
Okay, he's giving a range. Mr. Range with the range. All right.
Yeah.
Last 2 weeks of October. Jedi, you're on mute.
Yeah, you're muted, friend.
Or you just haven't had your audio plugged into this shot.
Chest, Jedi.
So I'm going to go completely contradictory and state that an ETF will not be approved because of the current administration's complete and utter hatred for Bitcoin and crypto.
All right. Won't give a prediction. He says declined sometime between now and March, whatever the deadline is. Okay. Well, my February 22nd is looking less likely now. So that's it for us today, guys. It's been an absolute blast. Toast Malone, take us out, kid.
Yeah. Hey, gang, if you want to talk shit with us and actually snipe lows that will become generational in a year's time, then go to hxro.com, click the menu, click the community tab, join the Discord, say what's up to me. I'll be in there. I'm Satoshi, Jedi's in there, RT's in there, and that is literally the place where we're all bored together trying to snipe lows from now until the halving. So get in there and then come back next week. Don't be an idiot. Okay? Come back.
Yeah, I'm doing solos on Tuesday now. I'm back. I'm back.
Check out RT's solo stream.
Come listen to me talk into the void. Better yet, come chat with me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll see you guys next week on the pit. Okay.
Play from strength. Play from strength. All right. Take care, fellas.